Yeah, thank you. Cool.
All right. Somebody else want to ask a question? Anybody? Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Lochte.
Hey, what's up, bud?
I'm also a swimmer. I'm a senior on the swim team this year, and this year I'm kind of like chasing sub-minute in the 100 breaststroke, and whenever I do that, that'll be like the biggest milestone I've ever hit. And I was just wondering, like, what's your biggest milestone that you think, like, at the time was like you've been the happiest about?
So the like when I was 8 years old, like I said, my dream was to go to the Olympics and break a world record and get a gold at the same time. So I set my bar high. And I finally got that chance, not at my first Olympics, my second one in 2008 in the 200-meter backstroke. I won gold and I broke the world record. And I just remember just leaning back, looking up at the ceiling, being like, thank you. Like, whoever's up there, help me out. And it was so emotional because all that hard work, like grinding day in, day out for I don't even know how many years. What was it? 16 years I did of just grinding, beating up my body, just chasing after my dream. And it finally coming true. I was crying on television. I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna make fun of me. But like I was the happiest, it was the happiest moment, one of the happiest moments of my life.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Something I can go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Can I give the kids a chance?
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Lochte. My name's Emily, and I'm actually our head swim coach here. So
All
I
right.
appreciate you listen to your coach comment very much.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got a couple questions, and this first one is
Yeah.
kind of not necessarily sport specific.
Mhm.
But what are some ways that you found to help you fight that fatigue, that training fatigue and burnout, especially training in an Olympic cycle where it is day in and day out, like you talked about?
I mean, as I got older, it happened a lot more. My body wasn't recovering as it was when I was a little kid. But what kept me motivated and it kept me going was I had a dream. I had a goal. And that started at the age of 8. And I never wanted to be the person that said, what if? Like, what if, like, if I was fatigued and I just gave up? Like, what if I didn't? Like, I didn't never said never wanted to be that person that said what if. So I always, no matter what, if I was fatiguing, I would talk to my coach and I'd be like, look, I am hurting. Like, you can see me. I am almost drowning in this pool. Like, I need help. And they'll say, like, all right, go in the next lane and just warm down like a 500, like get your body recovered. So I'd had to have that communication with my coach. I think that's very important. That's why I go back to that rule number 1. Like, you got to listen to your coach, but at the same time, the coach has to listen to the swimmer as well. And I just, when I was fatigued, I let them know, and they knew better than I did, so they would help me get to where I needed to be to chase after my dream.
Awesome. Thank you. And I have one more that is a little bit more swim specific.
Yes.
Obviously at the high school level, you start to reach that level where not every swim can be a best time. Not every time can be a best time. You start to level out. So were some other ways that you found to measure success in a race when you hit that point when I'm not going to be swimming a best time every time? What else did you look at to measure this race was a success?
So growing up, I never tried to do a best time. And I think that's where a lot of athletes will fall short if they say like, oh, I got to do this time. I got to get a best time. I got to do that, because you're chasing after a number. If you do the work, you don't have to worry about the numbers. Like, it will happen. I haven't had a best time since 2012. So it's been a long time, but I was having fun doing it. And the thing that I loved about swimming was I was racing. And if you start thinking about the time, like you're not going to go a best time. Michael Phelps, hasn't been a best time since 2008, I don't think. So like it's been forever for him. But we love racing. We love getting up on those blocks because no matter what, if a swimmer is at the Olympics, one of your swimmers is at the Olympics, and they get a gold medal, but they didn't go best time, are they going to be upset? Hell no. They're going to be happy as can be. So the times don't matter. It will happen. Don't worry about that. They need to worry about just doing the work, being dedicated, perfecting their craft, and it will happen. Trust me, it will happen as long as you follow those 3 rules, and especially the last one, have fun, and don't worry if you don't get a best time. Life moves on, everything moves on. Just keep going.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I might have more questions for you later, but I'll give the kids another chance to
All
talk
right.
to you here.
Sounds
you.
good. Yep.
Hey, Mr. Lochte.
Hey, what's up?
My name's Aiden, and I just would like to know, like, what was your training regiment on like a weekly basis?
For what? When I was in high school or college?
High school.
High school. All right. So I would only train about 6 times a week. Only in the afternoons, Monday through Saturday. It was about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we would never go over like 6,000 meters. And every Friday, we had Friday Fun Day, where we only swam like a 500 warm up, and then we would play games like relays with like noodles, like everything, or like sharks in the minnows. Everything we did had something to correlate to swimming or racing. So, and it made it fun for all the kids. That's why the teams that I've been on, every swimmer there has gone to college, swam at college, and even swam after college because they were still having fun doing it. They weren't worn out. They weren't tired. They were enjoying it. So it would be six practices a week. And for dry land, I never did weights in high school. I personally think it's bad if you start doing weights at a young age because your body's still growing, and what weights does, it will put muscle on you, but it also stunts your growth. So you have to wait until your body is fully grown in order to start putting on weights.
Muscle.
I feel like, but I did every sport possible. So like, and swimmers, you can't do enough abs. So core work is probably one of the most important things for swimmers.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Mr. Lochte.
Hi.
I'm a swimmer for PHS. I'm a freshman this year, and I just want to know what's your eating habits during like big swim seasons.
Yes.
Just
So I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I grew up on Skittles and Mountain Dew. Basically. Don't do that, guys. Do not do that. But I mean, I was a kid. I was just like eating everything possible. But when I got to college, I had a nutritionist, and they put me on a diet. I was probably eating around 7,000 to 9,000 calories a day, but it was all good food. And am I perfect at eating? No. I still had my cheat days. Like I had pizza and wings every Friday. But what I'm trying to say is that nutritionist taught me the good things that go in my body. And when I say this, you guys, one of the biggest things is watch what you guys eat. Watch what you guys put in your body, because it will have an effect on your performance. Like when I started eating healthier in college, instead of having 1 or 2 practices that were good throughout the week, I was having day after day after day after day of amazing practices where I was almost breaking world records in practice because I was putting the right nutrients in my body. I was fueling my body. You guys have to treat your body like a race car, and you want the best gasoline. So transition that to the food, like you want the best food going into your body, you want the best nutrients going into your body, and trust me, your performance level will go skyrocketing. Not only will you recover faster, you'll sleep better, you'll be healthier, your performance will go up, but your overall attitude will go up too. And I played around with this in college. I took one weekend off in college. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just eat like crap. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to eat chicken wings, potato chips, McDonald's. By Monday practice, I was, excuse my French, dog shit. I was horrible. Like you couldn't find me in the pool. Like I was going last. Girls were lapping me. I was horrible. My attitude was just, I was mean. If you try to tell me something, I'd be like, shut up, like that. And then I switched the next day on Tuesday. And by Wednesday night, I was completely back to myself. I was almost breaking world records back in practice. I was happy. You like could not, like I was just walking around with a chip on my shoulder. And it was because I was putting the right nutrients in my body. So that is a very big thing for everyone. As far as eating, I have like a rule. Like there's actually kind of thing that's saying 3 days before major swim meet, carbo load. Eat a lot of carbs. Like I would go to spaghetti warehouse and just unload. So like doing something like that. And one of the most vital things that anyone can do, any athlete can do after practice, right after practice or right after your race, within 30 minutes, getting something in your body. If you don't, it is going to hurt you tremendously. Whether it's a chocolate milk, a banana, fruit, bagel, you name it, within 30 minutes after your practice or after your race, it will help you recover so much faster. It will not let your muscles break down. Like that is vital. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Mr. Lochte. I'm Will Hopkins. I'm a junior here at PHS.
All right.
I have a in your personal opinion, say it was like beating a certain competitor, winning a certain event, setting a certain record. What is your personal like greatest achievement?
Just in swimming or in life?
Swimming.
All right. Well, definitely it would be in 2011. We were at Shanghai World Championships and I whooped Michael Phelps's ass. And I took his world record and it still holds today. And that was what, 13 years ago. So, and it's still holding today. I think that was one of my greatest things just because I did it at the world stage. I took the best swimmer in the entire world ever, and I took his world record and beat him. I think that was one of the most amazing things that I've done.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lochte.
Yep, you got it.
Hello, Mr. Lochte. How you doing?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Good. My question for you is, what was like the feeling of like the national anthem playing when you won gold and like the flag?
I can't put it in words, buddy. It is something that, first of all, when I made my first Olympic team, we all get our caps that have, it's either black or white caps that have the American flag and it has your last name on it. When I got mine for the first time in 2004, I thought I won gold already. I was like, this is the most amazing thing in the world. Like, I'm not swimming for my town. I'm not swimming for my city. I'm not swimming for my college. I'm swimming for my country. How badass is that? And when I was able to get a medal and collect that at the world stage, the top of the top stage in athletics, I like so many emotions came through just because in swimming, especially, like you have to work every day because if you take 2 days off, it's like taking 2 weeks off in another sport because swimming is one of those sports that you use every muscle in your body. So all those emotions came in because like all that hard work I did, all that dedication, all that sacrifices I did paid off. Those countless of hours of swimming in a cold pool, up and down, beating my body up, it finally paid off. And I was able to do it on the world stage and represent my country well.
Do you still have the hats?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I still have my swim caps on. I still have my medals. Yeah. So still got them all.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
Hi, Mr. Lochte.
Hey,
It's
how you doing?
great to meet you. Um,
But
I just wanted to ask, just after winning your first gold medal, how did you stay motivated after that to keep going? And when you lacked motivation, what did you do to change that?
I'll answer your second one first. Whenever you're lacking anything or you have doubt, you have to. So I always went back to my rules, which my second one, my long-term goal. I always went back to it. I'm like, my long-term goal was going to the end and getting an individual medal and breaking a world record. So like that didn't happen. So I was like, I got to keep going. I got to stay motivated. Also, after every season, you know, in swimming, it's always at the end of the season, like in August or July is the end of the season. No matter what I did, whether I won golds, broke world records, no matter what, after the end of the season, I would put myself back to the bottom and say, you know what? I didn't win anything. I didn't break a world record. I didn't do anything. Like I'm back at the bottom. So now every day I have to climb this ladder to get up to the top because I want to be at the top. I want to be the best. So I think that's what made me motivated every year, all day, because I was hungry. I had that lion mentality, that Mamba mentality of greatness. I wanted to be great. And that's what made me so motivated every year is that I was never satisfied. And I always put myself at the bottom because I had to climb my way up to the top no matter what.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, you got it.
Hey there, Mr. Lochte. My name is
How are you?
K. Delgatti. Pretty good. And I want to ask you this. What was your hardest competition you were ever in the Olympics? Like your hardest,
Well,
like ever, like
obviously, I think we all know this guy, Michael Phelps.
yeah.
No matter what race it is, he was my toughest competitor, no matter what. He would not give up. And he would say the same thing about me. Like our dynamic, we pushed each other to make each other better, to make us great. And one of the hardest races was that 200 IM in every year almost. He was just battling. We would always battle because we were almost about the same. And he would just out touch me all the time until that one time I got him.
Yeah. It's been an honor talking to you, Mr. Lochte. Keep it the good work.
Yep.
See you.
Hello, Mr. Lochte. My name's Caden, and I was wanting to know what is some advice you would give to a high school student athlete?
Probably the most advice that I've learned throughout my entire life, swimming career, life in general, is no matter what, you are going to get knocked down in life. No matter who you are, everyone is going to get knocked down at least once in life. But it's not how you get knocked down. It's how you get up and how you keep moving forward. And when I say that, don't dwell on it. Don't ever dwell on the past. You learn from the past. All right. And then you learn from the past, don't dwell on it. And then you keep moving forward. You put one foot in front of the other and just keep moving forward and keep staying motivated and keep trying to better yourself every day. And if you do that, no one's going to stop you in anything you do, whether it's athletics or your career, business career, or what. Like if you do that, you'll be all right, bud.
Right. Also, how would you handle the mental stress of being an athlete?
So basically, I never had mental health issues. I know like these kids nowadays, like you hear it all over all the time on ESPN and everything, mental health issues. Is because what you do is not who you are. Like I was a swimmer, but that wasn't who I was. There was so much more to life. And I found that out when I finally had like my son being born. I was like, there's so much more to life. So that's why I never had any like mental issues because I was just having fun. Like swimming was just a sport that I like to do and I was good at it. That's it. Um, Whether I win or lose, if I lost, I'd be a little upset because I hate losing. I'm a very competitor. But at the end of it, like I'd be like, hey, whatever. Hey, I'll get better. I mean, I'll get better next time. So like I just kept on moving forward, and that's why I never had any mental issues. Like I never got nervous for a race. I'd be walking up for the finals of the 2 IM in the Olympics. I'd be like, what's up, guys? Let's go. Let's race. So I think that's one of the best things I could say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just follow my 3 rules.
Hello, Mr. Lochte. I'm
How you doing?
Braden. I'm a plumber. I'm a junior. Um, and how do you stay motivated during the off season when there's really no meets to like prove your work?
Um, well, as I got older, I would take some time off. Like at the end of the season, I'd take like 1 or 2 weeks off completely and just relax, go to the beach, go surfing, things like that, hang out with my family. On those off seasons, I was always playing sports. I was very active. So whether it was not swimming, I was either playing basketball or going surfing, skateboarding, playing soccer, like things like that. So I was very active. So when I did get back in the water, um, I was a lot better than just sitting, being a vegetable on the couch.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, back again. Sorry. So
Nah.
I know you said like a little earlier that you didn't really deal with many like mental issues, I guess.
Mhm.
But was there like one time or like I guess multiple times where like you were really anxious during a meet and like or like before a race and like how did how did you deal with that?
Like nervous or
Uh I mean, I guess like yeah, I guess nervous. Sure. Yeah.
um so I've never been nervous for a race because the
Oh.
reason why um say you do the 200 free and you train every day. How many times have you done a 200 free in practice? Millions and millions of times. So you do this, and I mimic what I wanted to do in the race at the end of the season. So, like, I do this day in, day out that when it came time to get up on those blocks, I didn't have to be nervous because I've done the work. If you do the work, you won't have to worry about anything because you've done the work. So when I get on those blocks, I'm just like, shit, I done the work. Let's go. Let's race. Who wants this? And
Yeah.
I outtrained anyone because I sacrificed a lot of things growing up to become who I am now. Like when people were going to the movies, I after practice or something or go eat, like I would stay 30 minutes after practice working on something that will help me, like working on my underwaters, working on my flip turns, working on my starts. And I would do this 3 or 4 times a week. So I outtrained anyone. So when I got to the blocks, I was cool as a cucumber. I was like, man, I just outtrained all you. You guys are gonna have to bleed from your eyeballs in order to beat me. And then after that, that's all just having fun, just racing.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Lochte. My name's Levi. I'm a freshman on the swim team, and I kind of wanted to know, how do you deal with like having bad practices or like, whether you like don't feel good or like you're sick, just coming back from that?
Whether I'm sick, you have to let your body rest. And if you come back too soon while you're sick, it's just gonna make it worse. Um, Having bad practices, they happen to all of us. But after practice, you have to understand that's just one practice. That's not going to affect me the rest of my swimming career or the rest of my athletic career. No, it was just one bad practice. And that's when I go back, like my biggest life lesson that I've ever learned was when I said, if you get knocked down, like if you have a bad practice, don't dwell over it. Like just understand what happened. Like what were the things that made it a bad practice? So that way you learn from it, learn from the past, and then you can keep moving forward and keep bettering yourself each day.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Lochte. I'm a senior on the BHS swim team. And I was just wondering how the environment was at the Olympics.
Oh my gosh, it was the coolest thing. It was like one big party. Um, it was kind of crazy and nuts because so swimming is about 7 days, and it's one of the first days of the Olympics after the Olympic ceremony. So like you
Yeah.
have people from all over the world competing, and some of them are just done after the first day or the second day. So they're celebrating, they're like beating their drums, they're singing down the streets in the Olympic Village, and it gets very, very loud. So, and it's like, I got a race tomorrow morning. Like I got to get some sleep. So that is kind of hectic. But it is probably one of the coolest things just because the best of the best in any sport, every sport is in one area. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what race you are, what language you speak. Everyone's coming together to do one thing, compete. And I think that's just the bee's knees.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Hello. My name is Jonathan. I've been swimming for about a year for PHS, and I just want to know what kind of advice would you give to a swimmer who's inexperienced with the sport?
Everything almost I say is like go back to my 3 rules. Listen to your coach. Your coach is going to help you along your journey, and make sure you have long-term goals. If you have a long-term goal, whether it's like, oh, I want to get a scholarship for college, so you always have a purpose. You're always trying to achieve something when you go to practice. Anyone can put on a swimsuit and go swim up and down a pool. But when you go to a swim practice and you train with a purpose, now you're doing something that no one else is really doing. Now you're going to try to achieve something great. And now that will motivate you and keep pushing you day in and day out.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
What after practice, during your high school years, what would you do after practice?
It depends. I would probably just go home and eat and then do my homework. And then if I still had some time, go outside and play basketball or do something active.
All right. Thank you.
Because we would train. No. Yeah, we would. No. Never mind.
Hey, Mr. Lochte. My name is Elliot. I'm a sophomore on the swim team, and I have had like a problem my whole life with injuries. So I was just wondering, like, have you ever had any major injuries? And if you did, what were they and how did you get over them?
Oh yes. I am known for injuries. One of my first ones. I'll give you 2 examples. One of my first ones. We were going to a football game. And all I hear. This was after I made my Olympic team. And all I hear was like Ryan, and I turn around and this one bigger lady was running and jumped on me, and I caught her, and her momentum, we crashed on the cement, and my knee tore. I tore my meniscus. I got up. I was like, hey, next time, just tap me on my shoulder. She was crying. She's like, I can't believe it's you. So I tore my knee, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, my career's over because I do the IM. I need to do breaststroke, and I can't do breaststroke because of my knee. So I was like, what do I do? So I started thinking outside the box. I started doing a Vasset trainer, or working, just putting a pull buoy in my legs and just pulling. So like my upper body got stronger. So when I did get my legs back and was I able to start kicking again, it just evened out, and it made me a better person. So no matter what injuries you have, you can still do something to help yourself in anything you do, whether it's swimming or another sport. That's one. Another one was 5 weeks before World Championships in 2007. I broke my foot. I told my parents and my coaches that I broke it walking my dog, but we all know that did not happen. I was skateboarding, and I was ollieing off a flight of stairs, and I fractured my foot. I was in a boot for about 3.5 to 4 weeks leading up, and we were leaving in 5 weeks to go to World Championships. So I was like, well, I'm screwed. Like, I just let my team down. I can't, but I still kept my path. I still started training and just see what happened. So about a couple days before World Championships, before we got on the plane to go over there, the boot comes off. I was able to start kicking again. It was getting back to normal. I was like, yes, all right, I'm going to be ready for this. I get to World Championships, and the first thing you do when you get to a pool, you go in and warm up. I got in. I went straight to the bottom. I hit the bottom with my foot and refractured my foot. I was like, this was 2 days before I had a race. I was like, no. I was like, I'm screwed. It's over. But no matter what, I didn't let that stop me. 2 days later, 200 backstroke, I broke a world record and won and beat the defending champion, Aaron Pearsall. And I did it with a fractured foot. I was in so much pain. You could see, there's a video that you could see of me, the officials pulling me out because I couldn't walk, and they had to carry me to the podium. That was just who I am. And no matter what, like I said, my life lesson, like, you're going to get knocked down. I got knocked down, but I got up and I kept moving forward. So any injuries that you have, I know you said you're prone to injuries. There's always something that you could do to help you become a better athlete and person through that injury. You just got to stay motivated and don't let that get down.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Mr. Lochte. Coach Emily again. I just had one more question to finish this out. You've mentioned several times throughout these questions, Michael Phelps and your rivalry there. And I know most of these kids were in diapers at that time, but I was in high school and college, and watching you guys go back and forth and back and forth. And, it really was, a rivalry. So I just wanted to know if you could talk about how that rivalry, you jump in the pool, you dive in, and you're rivals and you're trying to beat each other, and you get out of the pool, and what's that relationship like when you're, pushing each other to make the sport better?
Well, I hate Michael Phelps. No, just joking. No, me and him are good friends, and I think that's why our rivalry was so unique and so amazing. Was no matter what, win or lose, like, we would be mad if we lost because we all want to win. That's why we do sports. Like, we want to win. We want to get better. But it didn't let us affect our relationship. If anything, if we lost, because I swam in the Michael Phelps era, so I've gotten beat by him so many damn times, like way too many. But all it did was fuel my fire. And you always got to look at the positive things in everything that happens. So like me losing, me not getting the best time, me getting disqualified, things like that. You got to look at the positive things to that, because what it did was it made me more lion mentality type. Like I was hungry. Like I wanted to go back and train even harder and do even better because I wanted to whoop his ass again, like, or do it. So our rivalry was so awesome and so unique. Like me and him still to this day talk about twice a month about life, about everything, about like all the shenanigans we did way back then when we were kids, like things like that. So like we're still good friends. He's a great guy, and yeah. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate
yes,
it.
of course, yeah.
We got a few more minutes. Do you have a question?
Hi, Mr. Lochte. My name's Lars. I'm a swimmer. And during your whole career Olympic career from 2004 to 2016, the U.S. kind of dominated the IM events. And in the more recent Olympics, obviously Marchand has taken over. And I just wanted to know, how does it make you feel to not see the American flag on every IM podium, and to see Carson Foster keep coming up short?
Um, uh, you it was like that question again.
Uh, how does it make you feel to see the U.S. not win the IM events? Oh, I broke it.
You're good.
It was kind of sad. It was kind of sad just because like yes, we were so dominant for so many years, and talked to Phelps about this, especially after Paris just recently, and we were kind of upset. And we were like, man, what is going on? I was like, we have to come back and swim again. But it's the way of the world. Things happen, and yes, it stinks that U.S. is not as dominant in the IMs anymore as we were. But I mean, that's the way of the world. That's the way of athletics. Like you're not always gonna be the best. Like you're gonna get beat at some time. So you just have to roll with the punches, basically.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walkie.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Lockney.
Hi.
So I was wondering, whenever you got like a silver or bronze medal, were you upset that you came up just short of gold?
Yes. Just because I've done the training, I've out trained everyone, so I know I can get gold. Whether it happens or not, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Was I mad that I got a silver and bronze? Yes, because I wanted to win. That's why I was swimming. And that's why I compete. That's why I do athletics, is because I want to win. That's why I train so hard, so many hours, so many days, so many years, is because I want to win. So when it doesn't happen, I'm a little bummed, but I just keep moving forward. And silver and bronze, I mean, it's still amazing to everyone in the world because you're like second or third out of billions of people. But to me, I was upset because I want to win.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Lochte. These guys, they're getting ready to go to lunch right now. I'm going to be honest.
Yes, my favorite.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. But we can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this. I know, especially to the swimmers, it'll make a huge impact. And you taking the time and being gracious enough to talk to us, we're very, very grateful.
Of course, anytime, anytime.
Okay. Well, we hope you have a great rest of the day, and thank you again.
All right. Thank you guys. And you guys have an amazing day.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.